So you gotta control this arm. You gotta get under the head. And this is a mistake people will make. They won't have that shoulder shelved, okay? So I need to lift them up and scoot that under there, right? And I'm always kind of gathering it back, right? Now, here's a cool little option, grab with the body lock. And a lot of times you're gonna see me, like we did the pin details, work those, but I'm also not gonna set on him the whole day, right? So I already threw him and fell on him several times, right? But again, you gotta kinda, I'll go over some ways to create pressure and adjust the ride, but we did some of that. Just work it incrementally, hey, try and do that, and then I'll attack. If he has the body lock, like, I'm coming in there and I'm sawing down. I'm trying to put my elbow like in his elbow, really, like right there in that bend, and saw back to his grip, okay? Now, from here, I'm gonna grip like this, right? I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna step here. There's already a tap. But my hips, this is look, everybody kind of bags on Hickson like he's selling snake oil or something because he's like invisible jiu-jitsu. I've trained with the guy, and probably no one else here other than Cora has, and it's not snake oil. It is like, hey, world champion in the room, can you do this to me? Oh, you can't? Here's the way you're supposed to be doing it the whole life you've been training. He calls it invisible because like that defense, I learned that from Hickson. You can't see what he's doing. I've been training like 10 years when I saw him do that. And I'm like, guys, all the black belts and brown belts in the room, 200 people, what is he doing? I got a judo black belt test next week. This is one of the first throws. What's he doing? He's doing something that addresses what they're doing. You can't see it. A lot of times people say this on this technique. Oh, you put this knee down and this knee up. That's a consequence of what you're doing. It's not what you're doing. If I just do that, there's some slack there. This hip's fine. I'm raising my hips like that. That's what shears the lock. Can you do it the other way? Yes. But again, this is like, I see this a lot. People will be like, oh, I need to go to the side, and they will fall on their side when they're supposed to be on their back. It's a misinterpretation. They'll see somebody fall down at an arc and think they're pulling them down at a 45-degree angle, right? When you're pulling them forward and they fell that way, right? So come in here. Look, when I grip, I'm rolling like this, not with the thumb, here, and I'm gonna scoop it behind. If it turns, and here in a second we'll do this, it's like any bent straight. I'm showing you a straight arm lock, right? And here in a second we'll do a variation when it turns over, and it'll be Kimura. But punch the thumb here and catch, and I'm pulling it back and raising my hip. Yeah, it's fast when you do all that. Whereas here, all right, push. Watch here. I'm just gonna do that thing with the knees. I still got it. Start turning your arm. I don't have it. And then the only way I'm gonna get it here is by doing that detail with the hips. And you see the knees doing that? And people always say, this knee up, this knee down. That's not what you're doing, it's the hips. This hip is fine. It's on the right plane. This hip's gotta come up. Like that, to meet it. And that helps dramatically, okay? So he's here, get your right in. Like this, okay? Like that, okay? If it turns, same thing, here. Raise, right? It's not just this, it's the hip. It's just totally different. It's so subtle, you can't even hardly see. It's just, you know, the unfortunate part is like, and it's not bagging on you, it's like, imagine speaking Portuguese as a first language and trying to explain super complex art to someone who speaks English as the first language. And like, we're just getting on the other side of that historically in the art, right? So that's, you know, and there's people out there that are really good at it. The Henzos and the Hicksons and, you know, John Donner went to philosophy school. That's why he's so good at it, right? Has logical terms to make your mind think about stuff. And that's what we need, this articulation. Oh, what are you doing there with your hips? Well, I'm bringing my hips up. When that becomes knee up, knee down, and that's not what's happening. Okay? So get with your partner, straight arm lock. And if they turn it down, that's going to happen naturally while you're figuring this out. And then do defense, do the Kimura. 1, 2.